So already I created servers on North California region. Is loading. Yeah. Now we are in Docker host. So start the Docker host. After instance state is running, only connect option will enable. Now status is running, right? So connect. Click on connect, copy public IP and go to SSH client mobile star session, start the session and we have the server and Ubuntu. So key. Now access. Accept. Now virtually connected Ubuntu server, Docker host. Already installed in the server. That's why we are calling as a Docker host. So sudo su Docker images. So empty. There is no images in this machine. So how to create container? This is the one of the command used to create container. That is a run command. Docker run command used to create containers. So here Docker. First, you need to understand little bit information about Docker commands. See here, create a Docker container. Use Docker run image name or image ID and provide external keywords. These keywords. So hyphen name, hyphen restart, hyphen D, hyphen ID, hyphen E, hyphen V, hyphen volume from hyphen P, hyphen capital P, hyphen link, hyphen network, hyphen RM, hyphen M, hyphen C, hyphen IP. So these kind of instructions we need to provide run run command itself. So now go to terminal. Here Docker run. So first we need to work on Linux based servers. So Linux images. By using Linux images, we can create containers, right? So hyphen name. Name defines container name. This is the customized name. You can give any name. But based on requirement, we need to provide naming convention. So Linux container, that's why I'm taking as a Ubuntu container. I'm going to create Ubuntu container. That's why I'm providing U1. So here hyphen P, hyphen there is no port here. So -it. So when you're creating Linux container, definitely you need to provide this instruction -it. This is a open interactive terminal while creating container. After creating container, it is directly switched to inside the container. So next -d and Ubuntu. So we can give any specific version mentioned tag name. So directly I'm providing latest image. By default image means Ubuntu means by default it is taking as a latest version. So create. So successfully created. So Docker container ls. So container. So default processor is bin bash. So how can you check information about image? So Docker inspect Ubuntu. So here, this is the CMD instruction. That is the default process of this container, Ubuntu container. So you need to find information like this. Docker attach U1. We are in container. After creating container, so if you want to switch inside the container, use this command. Docker attach container name. I mentioned customize name U1. That's why here I defined command line Docker attach U1. So if you want to find if you want to find any list of files, ls slash. So like that, this is the root. Slash means root directory. In the root directory, all whichever folders available, all directories it is going to showing all information about that particular directory location. What are the files available in the Linux? Each folder or file considered as a file system. That's why I'm saying directories or files. So come out if you want to container running, come out of the container. Container should be running. Control P, Control Q. So again, we are in host machine. Take Docker container status. It is running. So next, create one more container. Docker run hyphen name busybox b1 -it busybox. So this is also Linux flavor, one of the Linux flavor of image. Create. Successfully created is directly entered. Before first current container, we have mentioned -d. That's why it is not switched to directly container. So when you use -it when creating Linux based containers, So immediately it is switching to localhost to container terminal. So like that you need to understand. So again you need to list out all the files. So these are the directories. If any software installed, all softwares available installed in specific location called etc. So like that you need to understand each directory, what is the purpose of Linux file system hierarchy. So while discussing Linux, you can understand. So don't worry. Come out of this container without exit. So I'm in host machine. Next, one more container. Create one more container using Alpine Linux. Docker run -name -it. So Alpine is pulling from library. So Alpine latest something -it. So we are not providing any name. That's why it is getting error. So don't worry. Name Alpine means A1. So created, container created, and it is switched to localhost to container host. List out the files. So these are the directories in the Alpine Linux file system hierarchy, root directory hierarchy. So come out of the directories, come out containers, control P, control Q. So clear. So check once what are the containers we have created. Docker container ls. So one is Alpine type, one container. Second one is BusyBox. This is one type of Linux flavor. Ubuntu is one type of Linux flavor. So Oracle is one type of Linux flavor. Alma Linux is one type of Linux flavor. And SUSE Linux is one type of Linux flavor. Debian is one type of Linux flavor. And CentOS is one type of Linux flavor. So according to based on requirement, you need to choose specific base image while creating customized image. So next, I'm deleting. How to delete all running containers? Docker rm -f provide a1 space b1 space u1. So all containers are deleted. List out empty. Containers are empty. Once check the images. Docker images. So three images are available. See here, Alpine is very lightweight. Alpine and also BusyBox also lightweight than Alpine Linux than BusyBox is very lightweight. So next, that's why according to your requirement, we need to create customized images. Why? So based on use case, you need to choose specific BusyBox, Alpine, Ubuntu, base OS. That's why I'm showing. See, which is a less size. So that is going to occupy very less resources. That's why performance it is increasing. So go with BusyBox or Alpine. Mostly compatible version Alpine. Any company while creating customized images, mostly they are in 90% of the companies mostly preferred Alpine Linux. So next we'll work on web servers, HTTPD, Tomcat, and one more Node.js and HTTPD, Tomcat, and Nginx. So we'll work on this. Create container of web server, Tomcat web server. So Docker, Tomcat. So imagine T1 run command hyphen name. So here -d, you should provide small p or capital P. If you provide small p, you need to do port mapping. If you provide capital P means automatically Docker will provide automatic port mapping for us for this container. So first one, we need to do port mapping. -p. Tomcat default container port 80. So here custom port also you can take host port 8080 and provide Tommy or Tomcat. So I'm using Tomcat. So by default it is taking latest version of image. Create container. Once the port container is running, Catalina.sh and run is the default instruction, default process of Tomcat container. So how can find this information? Simply Docker inspect Tomcat. Check here. See CMD instruction. They are providing Catalina.sh, comma and run. This is the default process of Tomcat container. Clear. So access now. Try to access. I'm sharing this screen. That's why. So provide public IP of the host first. Copy and provide host here on the browser section 8080. So here status type is report. The origin server did not find any current representation for target resource, not while disclosing the one. So current version it is taking 10.1.0. Tomcat is working, but 404 is a not found exception. So what is the use case? Next, go to TCP. This is the TCP. No issue at all. Provide, is there any specific version? Go to check on Docker Hub once. And explore, explore. Use tag, specific tag. It is a 9 point full Tomcat 9 point version. So find better one. GRE 21, GRE 17. So Tomcat full. I'm going to create one more container. Hyphen name T2 hyphen D hyphen P 8081 colon 8080. So create one. Click container ls. Let me access this one. Something issue getting. So here so actually it is not finding any index.html in the default path. That's why it is pop up for error.index file. That's why we are getting 404 exception. So we need to do little R&D on this. How can you troubleshoot this kind of activities? RM P1, P2. So deleted. Instead of using this Tomcat, use Tommy. So I think now work. Container it is up. Seconds ago it is running status, came into running status. So now, yeah. So that is index.html is not finding in the previous version of image. previous, not version. Tomcat, it's a old type of image, official image. So currently we are preferring to go with the Tommy. That's why. So this version is running 9.1.3 and latest and 10.0.27 under this version. If you want to deploy any WAR files in this Tomcat, means our application is in live. So that is the use case of Tomcat web server. So next, and one more thing you need to do little R&D on Tomcat. What is explore? What is Tommy? Tomcat server and all you need to understand. Click on Tommy. See here, just read this. What is the purpose of? You need to understand because most of the Java applications deployed on Tomcat servers. So if it is Java applications, must you need to depends on Tomcat web server. So you need to understand features. What are the features and all available in this, and why Java technology so mainly focusing on this Tomcat web servers. You need to understand. That's it. Next, we'll work on Nginx. Clear screen. So first to delete some images. So Docker images. So it is occupied more than 1 GB space. System prone. -af. Then Docker commands. So which command is what purpose you need to understand. Already you have documents. So is there any running containers? Still one more container is also there. First, no container delete. Container deleted. Stop 0 and system prone. Everything images also cleared. Empty and containers also empty. Now we'll work on Nginx and next DPD webs. So now Nginx. Create Nginx container by using run command. Docker run hyphen name to Nginx means N1 I mentioned. So hyphen D. Next I Nginx default container port 80. So I'm using 80:80 container port and host port. All means we need to provide these ports. So provide Nginx. It is taking latest version of Nginx because we are not providing any tag. Create. So hyphen D must you should provide hyphen D. Otherwise logs will come into the picture. Nginx spelling image is not found. It is trying to pulling image from Docker Hub. So pulling access denied for a syntax because any this type Nginx this type of naming convention is not available in Docker Hub. That's why does not exist. So you can read like that Nginx. Created container ls where to access from browser. Oh. So this is the default in index.html for Nginx. That is the welcome page. You need to replace this welcome page and provide our application index.html automatically. That will load. So after, if you do any activity, that first will interact with the application layer. Application will fetch live data from DB. That will happen in real applications. So next one, HTTPD, Apache server. So what is the default process of this Nginx? So Docker entry point. So you need to inspect Docker inspect Nginx. So try to find information about this is the CMD instruction. This is the default process of Nginx. So we are providing entry point. So that's why in the container information it is showing this one entry point. So here CMD Nginx-G process of Nginx server. Clear is up and running. So create one more container. Docker run -hyphen name Apache A1. So you can mention Apache server as like that. Apache -d data mode -p port mapping. So the container port also 80 HTTPD. So you need to provide 80 already we defined. That's why I'm taking 81. So here provide HTTPD. HTTP successfully created. List out the containers. So it is status up and running 3 seconds ago. It is created. It is saying like that. This information will give information all about HTTPD server, HTTPD container. So go and access from web 81. It works. So this is the index file they are providing. It's work. That's why it is displaying index. If you replace this index.html file and provide our custom application related index file in this location, automatically our application will get in live. So now we'll go on work with DB servers. So take one DB image, get DB related containers. So clear first all images and containers. Docker rm -f a1 and Apache. So N1, A1 is not there, N1 and Apache. Those are deleted and clear images as well. System own -af. So now check list out containers empty and images also empty. So clear screen. Next, now working on MySQL containers. So Docker run. See here, understand one thing. If you want to create a DB kind of related container, definitely provide environment web configuration data of MySQL. Then only MySQL containers created. Otherwise, container is not created. Will get into exist status if not providing any environment required variables. So hyphen name. So D hyphen D hyphen. So no need to expose any port numbers for DB related things. That's why didn't mention any port mapping here. So directly provide MySQL. So if you need any specific version, go on pick that specific version for POC purpose. MySQL DNS, MySQL is the default process of MySQL container. So